The Ballad of Bold Sir Beauregard. The Ballad of Bold Sir Beauregard, a noble rat of no regard, who ascended stairs and gandered far from the bell tower down to the yard at noble knights and squires scarred, who rode astride their steeds ablaze, with frothing mouths, dark stamping haze from where they fight out famine days. The champions and scoundrels call from near to far, and one must fall to save the land from drought and worse, so sung the monks in song and verse. No man could lift this heavy curse, and until this hex be reversed, men striking hard should earn a purse. Our whiskered friend looked on with pride, with a half-gourd to shore up his side, and a straw for a sword, on a kitten did ride. Straight through the gates to take his chances, from under hooves by deftly dances. Thundering feet crashed all about, and Beauregard swung without clout. The feline swore in vengeance there. If the rat should lose or keep his share, he'd carve him up till skin was tatters, and rat meat spiced, then glazed and battered. And baffled, our Beauregard shrugged off the threat, and went onward, yet fell again, darn near impaled. Not quite adroit, his landing failed. His soul was intact, but he lost his tail. Big horses have a way with fear. The kitten ran off with his gear. Now Beauregard just had to flee, or suffer death in misery. Off back to meadow fields fair, to nurse his wounded honor there. With ink and paper, pensive and sullen, he quilled a poem with a sip of mullein. A shield's for a man to fight, a sword to blaze against the night. When hearts are big but bodies small, the weak must rise in strength or crawl. A champion to raise a sword, but due to scale be disbarred? Beauregard R. Well, as they say, time wounds all heals, and healing wounds takes time to feel. As he wandered fields all golden with wheat, Beauregard noted some things at his feet. Our regal rodent found unbroken a silver brooch, a worthy token, and an iron nail fine and hard. He hoisted this majestic sword, but on second thoughts came to his mind. With stratagem he might unbind the hex on the land. With cleverness he'd find a witch to change him best. As a rat he stood no chance to ease the dearth, but as a man he'd seize the trophy and the glory too. What a handsome man he'd turn into! He spied a bird not far from him, and called it to barter with vim. This wizened raven could lightly soar 100 leagues or 3 or 4, a taxi and a steed to be for clitter and a treasury. He gave the raven the iron nail. No way this cunning plan could fail. Across the skies the duo flew. Trees glistened in the morning dew. They shuttled down into the trees where magic lurked in scenery, or in a hovel worked a witch, her spells to bind and future stitch. And if he scratched whatever itched, from rodent to a human switch. Through bloodied lips and iron grin she beckoned both to let them in. The air was dark around the gate. "Come in, my boys, you're almost late. A rat and a raven at my door, with vengeance in your heart to score. Come make a trade, get what you wish, but cast your net now, fate to fish." By her request our Beauregard, a little rat of no regard, held up the silver brooch in hand. "I don't have much, I can't demand respectfully a thing from fate. I ask if destiny will make a famine ender out of me. I seek no crown, just victory." The hag eyed the ornament with care. She put it on and then declared, "This silver brooch you shall receive your human form, and so it be." The raven gave the witch the spike of iron in his claw. "In all my lives I've hatched into a bird, no tooth or paw. 1,000 lives I've wished to be a blacksmith or a miller, but felines feast upon my kin. I'd rather be a killer. I see so far, I am not blind. I must do as I please. My life requires entire piles of kingdoms at my knees. My first decree as king would be the death of cats from land to sea, and for this deed I'd need to lead the land in perfect unity. So give me now the potency to do these things for our safety. I think you'll see the rat agrees. This power now invest in me." On hearing this, our Beauregard, a buck-toothed rat of no regard, retorted back, "There is no way, nor beast nor man should seek to slay, nor take what ain't theirs any day." The hag wagged a finger at him long. "Oh, rodent, can you tell right from wrong? The raven brings me a finer gift, so into a man his change be swift." Oh, foolish our Beauregard, a silly rodent, so awkward, ran up her leg and stole away the gifts they brought for her today. The witch rushed him, her eyes on fire. "Why did you bother to even inquire? The raven is set, his fate is fixed. How dare you stop him from doing this? For all your hubris you will pay. You'll be a knight, but for a day." A haggard slam down right where his tail would have been, had he not previously lost it in a jousting tragedy. She would have grasped him, and the raven might have snatched him there, with claw or beak, but we all know his tail ended there. So on that day Sir Beauregard, a tiny rat of no regard, scampered off into the night to do instead what he saw right. Of course the famine passed with rain, as famines go and come again. And of course wee Beauregard ignored news and tales of a dark night who'd settled the score. Now answer me, wasn't the raven correct? For the dark night decreed every feline suspect, but before the cat catchers completed their work, the rat caught his karma for the duty he'd shirked. Though he ran through the forest so proud of his deeds, the kitten, now bigger, ate him down to his knees.